What's up, guys? So this is a beam spammer. This is a box that won't fit in the screen as usual, and this is Master Grade Monday. So let's get to it. So guys, on this Master Grade Monday, we're going to take a look at the classic, awesome hero suit of Gundam Seed and sort of the beginning of Seed Destiny. And it is, of course, the free... it's the free Gundam. Okay, so it is, of course, the Master Grade Freedom Gundam. So you got MG logo way up there, kind of cut off, and you have the Freedom doing the thing it always does and beam spamming from every direction. And you got the Archangel kind of going on right here, which is actually pretty neat. I like this artwork. Of course, yeah, Freedom. Older Master Grade, but... we'll see as we go through this. It definitely has some issues. If anybody who's built the original version like this will know right off the bat. But let's finish looking at the box before we really start tearing into how bad the kit might be. You got Bandai 2004 right there. Actually, it's really hard to read. There you go. Come to this side, you got Freedom Gundam, Zaft Mobile Suit, ZGMF-X1 very long titles that they had back then. Of course, you get all these little things right here. Gundam Seed. No website because it was 2004. We go this way, and you get a nice shot of him right here. Looks pretty cool. You even got a little bitty Kira Yamato right there. And got a nice rear shot there. It's actually a very, very decent looking, kind of elegant suit. However, we'll talk about the actual kit as we get there. You get mechanism, because you got exposed frame that can do things. Yay for that. You've got shield, beam sticks, gun with thing. We'll talk about the gun when we get that far, but I have an issue with mine. I'm not entirely certain what they're showing off there. I'm guessing just angly stuff to do with wings, and that you can panel line the inside of the armor for some reason. Yay for that, I guess. He can do things. Shoulders. Shoulder does thing. Leg. Leg does leg thing. So, rotate. Same stuff here. Go to this side. Display base. The most useless part of this entire kit. But, yeah. We'll definitely talk about that display base. It annoys the ever-loving crap out of me. Weapons. He has weapons. Because, of course he does. He's a Gundam. You got beam saber, shield, side cannons, other rifle thing. You got markings, of course. I didn't put mine on there because I like the cleaner look, more like the actual show. Now, I know in some instances you get the Zaft logo, but I don't believe it's on the Freedom. I believe that's on the Justice and stuff like that. And here we have an obligatory warning. Freedom is for everyone, but it will hurt your face if you're not careful, especially 15-year-olds. You got PSPEABS, little dude with toilet, whatever that emblem actually means. 3,800 yen, so 40 some odd dollars for this Master Grade. Fairly good price for the kit. And the CG works are by one of my favorite artists, Morishita Naochika, who, sadly, our freedom is upside down. Will you fight for your upside-down freedom? Probably. Anyways, let's go ahead and look at this questionably good kit, quote-unquote. Okay. So here we have the Freedom out of its display and looking very patriotic, because it is just straight up red, white, blue, darker blue, nearly black. Like, I believe even in the show, like the shield right here looked very black, not really blue. But they kind of had a problem with navy colored Gundams that tend to come across as black. Now, right off the bat, I will admit the rifle is missing. I know for a fact it's in another one of my boxes. But which box? No idea. So, you guys know what the rifle looks like, and there we go. That's why I have it standing, because I wanted to show off the fact it cannot really stand under its own weight. It's way too back heavy, even if he's leaning forward just a hair. So that's why I wanted to have it standing, not on the stand. We'll talk about the stand here in a minute. But yeah, so the rifle, I will say this immediately about the rifle. It does not hold the rifle at all. Like, it'll go in the hand, but it won't hold it. It'll either be droopy or it'll be flopping sideways. Terrible, terrible design on Bandai's part. The beam sabers here, perfectly fine with the handles. Let's go ahead and get that out of his hand, and we'll take a closer look at the actual Gundam. So we have a very, very nice head sculpt here. You got the great yellow eyes in there. One thing that these in Seed, they went away from the green or blue eyes, so we definitely went with the yellow eyes. Strike has yellow eyes, all kinds of cool stuff. I love the double V-fin, so you got the wide white V-fin and then the cool yellow ones there. I do believe we have a little blue metallic E sticker up there for the camera. Come down here, you got the nice little cockpit section that does in fact open, and right in there you see a completely unpainted little Kira pilot. I don't care. I almost never ever do that. I like the nice little vent here. And if you guys remember, this was one of the first new nuclear powered Gundams in the series, because nuclear weapons and everything had been disabled with their in-jammers. So this thing actually had in-jammer cancelers, meaning it could have nuclear power. So being so, it has these giant vents right here. Of course, you got little chest Vulcans right there, and plenty of dust from being out on display over the years. Because this is one of the earliest kits I did, guys, and you'll be able to tell because you'll see nubs and not so great detail work and stuff like that. Panel lining is, well, actually it's almost non-existent. This guy does have some panel lines, but not a whole lot. Like up here in the shoulder, but I believe these are separated. You know, almost everything that could be panel lined was. There is good panel separation, but not really good panel lining. You guys can see, like right here, nubs totally in the knees. Like I said, this is one of the earlier kits I did, and I will say right now, these pits, if it's, maybe it's this one, maybe it's Strike Freedom, one of them, these knee fronts pop off very easily. Maybe it's Strike Freedom, which of course is the successor to this Gundam. I do like the uses of blues, so you get the really nice light blue, you get the navy blue, everything else like that. It's pretty cool. And one thing I really dig, even though they're huge, I really like these side skirt mounted cannons. You know, they look neat, they're actually very functional as side skirts, and then they actually become very powerful weapons. Now I'm trying to remember, okay, yeah, the butt skirt does in fact move. It has a little tab there. The wings are wing-like. We'll talk about them later. You do get a nice little sticker right there. I think that was pretty much denoting the nuclear-powered backpack. But I remember when this thing first fired up, and you got these huge back thrusters right here, and he's leaning forward about to launch. The first arrival of Freedom was actually pretty awesome in Seed. I was a big Seed and Seed Destiny fan. It's what really got me into Gundam in the first place. Like, I had seen little bits of wing here and there, but I didn't really know, and I hadn't seen a full series at the time. So Seed and Seed Destiny was what really got me into it. Of course, now I look back on them as a little bit of a joke compared to more modern Gundams, but they are what they are. I like the inclusion of the hidden thrusters in the calves, and they cover up very, very nicely. Now, before we get into articulation, let's go ahead and look at accessories. It does have a couple. So you do get the nice big shield that I think just plugs into the arm. I could be wrong. Okay, yeah, just plugs into the arm. And he's going to come over here and completely not stand. Stay. So shield, I really dig the look of the shield. Like I said, nice color separation, big red down the middle. This thingy, which I think is meant to be like a boomerang, sort of. Like, they've used very similar items throughout the show. But you can mount it to either side here. It also functions as a way to peer through here and shoot through there. They've had that on actually a lot of the shields in this particular series. The molded detail here is nice. I love this. Not to mention the color separation. And you have the handle here, which apparently somebody's breaking concrete outside. What the heck? But instead of being on a slider, you can literally just move up and tab that in. So if you really want to, you can tab it into the arm and put it in the hand as well. Looks like I need to come up one more tab. Oh well, I'll just leave it. The purpose is there. So, and it's not going to hinder articulation a whole lot because you can still move the arm and bend the elbow. Sorry, there's something weird going on outside, guys. So yeah, we got the shield done. And of course, we saw the cool dual beam sabers. No idea what's going on out there. I don't know if you guys can hear that. You get a cool black sticker to separate there, and these guys do just clip together like so. So twin beam sabers. And honestly, I don't know that these are the blades that came with it. Sorry for the pause there, guys. There's some really, really strange activity going on outside. Some weird people in the parking lot. And yeah, just really strangeness. So, as I was saying, beam sabers. But pretty much any beam blade will fit in there because it is just a peg. And these things do actually have some cool little weapon storage. You can just stick them right in here, and they just clip in like so. Actually, you clip them in like that. So the actual little grooves in the handles there line up in here. Although they do tend to want to also split those sides. And like I said, of course, the rifle is misplaced. I know it's in one of these boxes with a bunch of spare parts and stuff like that, but I'm not about to dig through everything to go find it. Now, of course, you get the main big accessory with this guy, and it is the big ridiculous stand, which, you guys know I'm not opposed to having a stand that comes with a kit. However, this one is the most ridiculous design. So it's straight up and down, more or less, got a little bit of angle to it, and it just plugs into the bottom of the crotch. So right up in there. And off the top of my head, can't remember which way it goes. Probably only goes one way. Yeah, it probably goes the other way. See, this is one problem I have with it. This is before they really got into the action bases. Come on, get in there. It is a really tight fit. But as you can see, one of the main problems is it sits really, really freaking high. And you're not going to get a giant action pose out of it, or at least not a very forward-looking one. Now, I like the design, because it looks like it's supposed to mimic the wings, which is actually pretty neat. It's just, there's not a lot going on here. Now, I wouldn't mind actually adding just a normal action base, except there's nowhere to plug one in. As you can see, I'm going to have to really angle up to get the shot here. But that's about it on accessories. But since we already have it on the stand, let's go ahead and work a little bit of articulation motion here. So you get some, not really ab crunch, but the waist does move forward like that. You can rotate it at the waist. The head, since you can barely see it, you do get a great turkey neck out of that. And you can go all the way around without completely messing everything up. That's always a good thing. Now, as it was noting on the box itself, the shoulders can totally shrug forward very nice. There's a great little cutout there, and they can go up very nicely. And being very careful, because it is an old kit, you can go all the way around if you move the wings out of the way. So you can totally just and scooch it back. We can get a good high teacher like so. Yay. Some of his arms are very stiff. Now the bicep rotation is very stiff, so I'm being careful, don't want to snap anything off. You do get a double jointed elbow, so up here and down here. Like I said, the shield doesn't interfere with the elbow, and you can get a very nice bend out of it like that. And because that one's a little tied up at the moment, we'll do the wrist bend here. You can do rotation. It's got a little bit of flex in it like that. And this one thing that was neat, you do get semi-articulated thumb, and you get hands that can do that. So you get a trigger finger that comes out, the other three are tabbed together. And coming down to the sides, side skirts can't really go out very far. So you can tell we're not going to get a very good Jean-Claude today. However, because the front skirts get up and out of the way, you can do a very good front kick. And back skirt moves just a little, you can go back about yay. Now, I do believe, yeah, more or less a T-mount in a ball. So the hip itself swivels up there instead of having thigh rotation. You do get double knee joint. I have to... It's like you guys can probably see it. I can't because the shadow of the shield is actually in my way. Pushing it to its absolute limit. That is pretty much... Whoa, it went. Like, it suddenly just went. So you get actually a nice 180-degree knee bend, and the armor separates all nice and neat, like so. Let's see if I can get it to go back now. There we go. Yeah, that was just very stiff from not being moved very much. Of course, I showed it off earlier. That does wiggly waggly. You do get some nice double ankle. So you got ankle up here, and you got a swivel pivot at the base, like so. You can just move around. Actually, you got some nice little details inside there, some nice little fake pistons that I tried to do. You do get some ankle rock. I was trying to see if there was toe point. I thought there was. Oh, okay. It's reverse toe point for some damn reason. So it can go flat or it can go toes pointed upward. Either way, it doesn't want to stand on its own, as we saw already. Let's see if we can get it into any kind of pose that's worth it. That's actually pretty good. I mean, if you got it on a stand, you can pose it a little bit better, but for the most part, it's still just not great. Now, I've already heard issues about the Freedom 2.0, but it cannot possibly be as bad as some of the issues here. Now, some of the details, mind you, are very nice on here. I like the screen accuracy. It is a very flat panel kind of gunpla. But the main problem I have with this guy is really in the wings. Mostly in the way the weapons work, the way the wings unfold, stuff like that. So we'll come back here. We'll see if we can get the giant cannons out of the back of the wings. So you kind of have to finagle these wings just right. See, they actually came apart on me earlier when I was getting it out of the display, and I didn't realize I had not sandwiched them back together properly. So these parts are actually just two thin pieces of plastic roughly tabbed together and roughly held in place up here. So to get the big cannons out, you kind of have to rotate everybody up like so. Leave the back wings kind of stagnant. I need the thingy that I use for making stuff taller. There we go. So you can see a little bit better. Sorry for the shaky cam. It happens. So you want to rotate that out, and then you get a swivel here that allows you to point the gun forward. So you kind of rotate it as far down as you can, and you reveal the hues like plasma cannons or whatever they are. And then you can rotate the actual wing parts individually. This part actually has its own little hingey hinge. This one has its own hinge, and then down here. So you can really splay the wings out however you like. It's your kit, display it however you want. So that's kind of about as epic as you can get. The shoulders are a hair in the way, and one thing that is always a problem, depending on how you have it, the V-fin literally is so wide it hits the cannons on both sides like that. Now if we come back to the back, I didn't even show off the articulation here, because you can swing the wings around. They rotate both back here, and they can pivot right there, and they can go in and out a little bit. Sorry, I haven't bumped the camera this much in a while. So if we want to turn the cannon a little bit more, we can make the wings a little bit flatter, a little bit wider, like so. So you can give it really splayed out, burst mode kind of situation going on like that. And while it can look okay, sometimes it just wants to fall apart. Like these little bits, like I said, it's just sandwiched together and they'll just poop, pop off for no reason whatsoever. Now, of course, Freedom does come with more weapons, as we already discussed, with the side skirts. Let's do this one because it's actually a little easier to see. Aim down just a little. And I like the accordionness here. So you can see right there, really bad scrapage. So bring the back there. It's actually another thruster. That's kind of cool because these things would put out so much force. You kind of need reverse thrusting to keep it moving forward. And on a nice little compound joint there, you can extend the barrel. And it, yeah, make your own jokes. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So you can do it to both sides as usual. Come down here, swing out that weird double hinge, and now you have the not so great skirt cannons. Now I say they're not so great because one, the angles are a little wonky, plus you can see they kind of curve out just a little bit with the way they're engineered. And forget about trying to point them at the correct thing. They're just going to be out like that. So point all your cannons in one general direction. You see it looks like it's bowed up in a really weird manner right there. And you can, of course, actually hold them, which sounds really strange, but you can. So I believe, which way does it go? Okay, that way. So you got a little handle that pops out like that. So he would hold these cannons and then shoot forward if he didn't already have his single rifle in that hand. So, I mean, as epic as I thought this Gundam truly was in the series, the kit doesn't really do it as much justice, or infinite justice for that matter. Gundam puns. Pundums. Oh god, I just went there. Okay, so that's going to be it pretty much for the original Master Grade Freedom review. I'd say if you really want to see the major difference, if you don't have this kit, by all means go get it. I mean, honestly, it doesn't look terrible. The details are actually fairly show accurate. Dimensions might be off here and there. There was not a ton of panel lining on it, and that's okay. And I think if you're actually kind of a beginner, it's not a terrible build. You might need to do some seam lining in some areas if you really want to. These guns are all just like two halves of things slapped together. The wings are probably the most troublesome parts, especially with the way the cannons want to work. So you have to try to, keep the wings from moving while moving the big cannons on their own. But as it goes, Freedom is not a terrible thing. And it only costs like $1.65 or however the song goes. Freedom isn't free. It's 4,800 yen. There you go. That's how the song goes now. So I really do dig this thing, and I kind of want to do now that there is a 2.0 out and I can get that. I kind of want to do a Stars and Stripes paint job on this. I think it'd be fun. Maybe do a little bit of custom work, lose some of the stuff that I don't like, and give it a nice little fun repaint. I've seen it done on a few of them. I think it'd be fun. I've seen like a Screaming Eagle version. That'd be kind of neat. So. But yeah, tell me what you guys think. What should I do with the old school Freedom here? Now we do have the Strike Freedom Master Grade to look at another day, so we can see the comparison before I do a custom job on this. But yeah, next week will be the review of the Master Grade that I was keeping a secret from you guys. The secret Master Grade, as it were. And you'll see why I wanted to do that review when I did. Or when I will be doing weird future tense things, guys. But I'll catch you guys next time. And as always, I want to thank my patrons, SteelAngelJohn and Andy Tubbs. And if you guys are not on the Patreon yet, or you're not aware of it, I'll flash it right here across the screen. So if you want to go there, donate some money to keep Shoki Reviews rolling, and so that I can be able to afford some of the things that you guys want to see. There's actually multiple levels of donation and multiple rewards that we can give. If you want to see the video for that, the link will be at the bottom and also at the end credits over here. So if you're new here, like, subscribe. I always appreciate new subscribers. We're getting close to 700, guys. And yeah, as always, guys, keep on building.